Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has expressed concerns over the pricing of petrol from the Dangote Refinery, urging the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, to ensure it is not sold at a higher price than imported fuel. IPMAN argues that this would undermine the country's drive for energy self-sufficiency and harm consumers and marketers. The NNPC began loading petrol from the Dangote Refinery on Sunday, priced at 898 naira per litre, but IPMAN says it is higher than expected. The association emphasizes the need for competitive pricing to succeed in the fuel market.
Dangote Refinery has denied selling petrol to NNPC at 898 naira per litre, describing the claim as misleading and mischievous. NNPC insists on the price and has released a breakdown of pricing at its filling stations going forward. We're joined this morning by Public Relations Officer of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Ukadike Chinedu. Good morning, Mr. Ukadike. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning.
It seems like we're on a merry-go-round when it comes to this conversation about petrol, and, you know, I don't know how long we're going to keep going at this before we have some sense of stability. But what is the current position? IPMAN has decried the possibility of Dangote Refinery fuel being more expensive. So give us the current position. Do we have an idea how much it was sold to NNPC and what the current reality is?
Well, the transaction between NNPC and Dangote is still obscure. Dangote has refused to, disclose the price they gave to NNPC. NNPC has come up to say that we bought these products from Dangote at 898 naira, and we cannot be able to say at our template. We will have a new template. You also remember that NNPC have adjusted their forms to 895, depending on the place you are buying from. So at this particular junction, there is serious confusion. And Dangote has also come out to say that we cannot be able to sell our premium motor spirits in line with NNPC, what NNPC have done to the public, that it is not possible for us to sell petroleum product at that rate. So the transaction is obscure. And up to now, Dangote has not come up to say, this is how much you have sold to NNPCL. So the problem now is, I don't know who is fooling who, but I also believe that this thing has to do with policy, government policy. Government is trying as much as possible to ensure that the price of petroleum product do not drive the nation into galloping inflation. And that is why they are trying to be able to manage the position of things. Also remember that Dangote is a limited liability company. He has right to be able to sell to whoever he wants to sell and at the price they want to sell. Government cannot regulate their price. But I have been issued that Dangote, in a statement by their spokesperson, said that the federal government is going to determine their price. And the federal government in turn said, no, we're not.
Mr. Ukadike, we may have lost the connection with you there. We hope that you can reconnect with us and keep the conversation going. For those who are watching us, of course, it's, the conversations continue this morning on the Dangote Refinery, the NNPC, and Nigerians. And of course, seemingly trying to find a balance, on the price of petrol and what the reality will be for Nigerians going forward. Understanding, of course, both sides of the coin, what the NNPC stance is and also what the Dangote Refinery stance is as a limited liability company that also needs to make profit. Understanding what the expected price of petrol would be. If you remember, the NNPC put out a template, what it expects that the price of petrol will be across the country, with some places as high as 1,019 naira and some of them as low as 950 naira. Well, I don't know if you can call that low. Of course, there's still the back and forth, with the Dangote Refinery saying that they did not sell petrol for 898 naira, and it's not even a realistic price, for them to sell petrol. So these are some of the things that, of course, we're hoping that we can explore this morning with the IPMAN spokesperson. as he joins us, but there's many other aspects of the conversation. How realistic is it to even expect the price of petrol to be 950 naira? How realistic is it, to be 898 naira? For me, these are the things that we need to be honest about. Because if we claim to have stopped, subsidizing petrol, and of course Nigerians need to, are expected to believe that we've completely stopped subsidizing petrol, then what really is a realistic price, looking at the price of the exchange rate for the dollar, the details between getting the crude oil either from a local refining or from abroad. If we cannot have a clear picture, then it's just continue to be confusing.
Also, there's the angle of looking at. I know many people already think, oh, this is Dangote. The government has been a huge part of the Dangote journey, but Dangote is also a private business, and they're looking to make profit. So, will it be feasible that they sell at a cheaper cost than the international market? And of course, I'm certainly looking forward to buying fuel at a much cheaper rate. But we have to be we have to be clear about what is actually possible. Can the government of the day, can the NNPC provide all the crude supply that Dangote will need at this moment? The reports have it that NNPC might not be able to meet the demand of Dangote. So that would mean that Dangote is having to import. And if Dangote is importing and paying exchange rates, he has to be able to balance the books.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping that we have Mr. Ukadike back. Mr. Ukadike, are you here with us?
Right. Yeah, nothing now is steady in Nigeria. Fuel is not steady, the price goes up and down. The roads are also not steady, potholes up and down. Foodstuffs are also going up and down. So nothing is steady in Nigeria, so you have to bear with me.
No, we understand. What we're trying to understand, is, for me, what I would expect that Nigerians are trying to find out is, what would you say is a realistic price of petrol that you expect from the Dangote Refinery?
Well, in line with IPMAN analysis, that the depot owners, they have opined that the Dangote Refinery, in line with the international best practice and the current foreign exchange in Nigeria to dollars, that fuel will be sold at 1,117 naira. That is the benchmark which they also feel that fuel we are going to sell. But now, if you look at the gasoline oil, the AGO is being sold between 1,200. These two products almost don't normally give gap more than 10 to 20 naira in terms of difference. So at any time, I can also vividly recount from 1980 something till now, you cannot see the diesel giving or fuel giving this kind of wide margin. So these are almost the same process of refining this crude. So for people to come and say they are going to buy PMS at 800 and diesel at 1,200, it's not realistic. So that man has said that to land petroleum product here in this country will not be less than, in terms of international best practice, not be less than 1,117 naira. Now, we have to look at other factors of importation, other factors of foreign exchange. Dangote is being given crude in naira. There is no more cargo vessels that are coming. So all those costs should be shrinked. By the time you shrink those costs, the NNPC permutation of buying products from Dangote at 898 naira, for me, it's realistic, because I'm a member of independent marketer. I'm literally concerned about taking volume products from Dangote or from NNPC and sold to numerous consumers. But as a concerned Nigeria, I will also be able to, discuss this issue. It is important that we should look at what the federal government is trying to do. They are trying to see whether it can be able to cushion the effect of high costs of premium motor spirit, so that it will not be able to drive galloping inflation in Nigeria. So what IPMAN have said, and they are the best practice in the world, VMS should be sold within 1,117 naira. Now, if you look at our neighboring countries, there is nowhere PMS is sold less than 1,600. Some neighboring countries in in West Africa. It's been like that. Benin Republic is being sold around 2,000 something. And if you now compare our dollar rate with what is happening in the United States, premium, because they have two types of fuel. They have litre and unleaded, which is premium. The other one is super. One is selling for $2.99, which is around, if you convert it, almost into 4,000 naira in our own exchange.
Yeah, but just to confirm,
buying crude oil but Dangote is buying crude oil from the desert of America.
Yeah, just to confirm, what you're talking about now is a situation where the Dangote Refinery is purchasing crude oil in US dollars. If he's going to be buying it in naira, that hasn't kicked off yet. That should be starting in October.
September.
No, it should be starting in October. We're currently in September.
First week of October, yes.
Yes. All right. So if he is buying it in naira, you're expecting that the price should fall to 898 naira per litre. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and that was what the NNPC looked at, before they start setting their price, and also saying in their press statement that they are buying this product from Dangote at 898. But that contrary information that was coming from Dangote, that is not correct. We have not yet seen or see the publication of Dangote, how much they sold to NNPC. And NNPC have also said that anybody who has contrary information should challenge them. So affirmatively, I believe the NNPC.
All right. So how soon do you see that we're going to have all of this, a clearer picture as to what exactly is going on between the Dangote Refinery and NNPC? There were projections that the lifting of Petrol wasn't going to be able to happen on the 15th of September, but it did happen. So are we expecting that this will be clarified maybe in another 1 week or by the end of the month?
Well, business transaction, when it starts early or when it started new, there's always hiccups, there's all ups and downs, negotiation, discussion, operational challenges, managerial challenges, lack of communication, and all the rest of them. You said, it's a very brand new refinery. The management, I don't know whether they are new or they are experienced, NNPC to, engaging in this kind of transaction. It also has to do with a lot of experience too. It also has to do with a lot of back and front. And at the end of the day, before you know it, they will be able to stabilize. And NNPC is also looking at the Port Harcourt refinery too. So they will not just double into this negotiation and who had a sinker, absorb whatever Dangote. There must be strong negotiation. There must be strong disagreement. And at the end of the day, both parties will come together and be able to foster good business transaction. NNPCL is doing well. For me, they are really doing well. Dangote too, as a business entrepreneur who want to maximize profit, $20 billion. $20 billion. It's something somebody have to see how we can be able to recover it as quickly as possible. But the NNPCL and the federal government, they are not losing sight that they are dealing with Nigerians, that whatever decisions they will take today or policy they take today will be able to reflect to the economic stance of Nigeria and be able to affect the Nigerian current inflation status.
All right. I mean, what we're going to hope on now, at least for the way it stands, is that the NNPC does follow through with its commitments to start, of course, to sell crude to the Dangote Refinery from the 1st of October in naira. And then we can see if there's going to be any adjustment in price, and if maybe we would hang around the 898 naira per litre we're talking about. There's, claims, or there's people who have said that the NNPC doesn't even have crude to give Dangote Refinery, and that's why Dangote will continue to import crude, which, of course, means that we will continue to, or we should expect that the price of petrol would be above 1,000 naira, per litre, looking at the dollar exchange rate, and of course, the landing price of petrol eventually after refining. So, fingers crossed, at this point. We hope that IPMAN, of course, is going to continue to keep up with the conversations, and we could always have you join us. Thank you very much, Chinedu Ukadike, for joining us. We'll speak with you again.
I appreciate it.